Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Welcome to the Nerd Powwow. Follow us on YouTube where we upload new videos every Friday, or check us out on your favorite podcast platform. Spoiler warning, we do deep dives on characters, storylines, and theory crafting. With that said, Moriaibane, what are we talking about today?
Well, it's today we're gonna do the nerd alert, and I would like to
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
want to alert people to gems they may have missed, or maybe they aired before they were really got into the genre of fantasy, science fiction, that type of thing. So, and because a lot of times with science fiction and fantasy, because they're almost period pieces, whether they be future period or past period, they still stand up very well. So you can watch a show that's 20 years old because it was set 200 years in the future, or 200 years in the past, or 500 years in the past, or whatever. So they stand up well. You don't have to worry about weird technology not fitting. There's no cell phones, so it doesn't have that weird, like you just can't relate to it. So anyway, I picked a couple of things that I think I'd like to dive into. Picked a couple so that I wouldn't spoiler out the shows because I think people should watch them, but I give a general gist of what they are.
Yeah.
The first one, the one I comes highest recommendation of the three is Killjoys. It's a future science fiction. They live in I think it's a 3 planets. They call it the Try something. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'm still very familiar with it just because I enjoyed it so much. But the 3 main characters are bounty hunters. But in this space or this galaxy, solar system, whatever, they call them Killjoys. They hunt down criminals, turn them in, get paid for it. And the 3 main characters are it's Hannah John Kamen, Aaron Ashmore, and Luke McFarlane, and they're very roguish, Shogun kind of like their alignment is chaotic neutral. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
They're very chaotic neutral characters, and they each mesh different. For instance, Luke McFarlane's character is an ex-soldier. He's got some enhancements. It's Hannah's character is steeped in mystery, but she's definitely better, stronger, faster than your average person. So there's some, and she's kind of a recluse. She kind of keeps to herself. And then you have Aaron Ashmore's character is kind of the middle of he's kind of like your normal guy in a way, but he's got some charisma to him. And the 3 of them are just a tight unit, and it's what they work together. And the show goes on to them finding out that there's crazy government experiments, this levels of technology that are hidden that are causing all kinds of things amongst rich families. And rich families are big. They have almost like a caste system where the rich of certain types live in this area, and it's like the city in the clouds type mentality where people aspire to be those people, etc. It just really has a really robust story with really a lot of character development, and it goes for 5 seasons.
Holy cow.
Like we're talking about an excellent science fiction series that I don't think the 2 of you have heard about.
No.
It went for 5 seasons, and it wasn't like this is ancient. This came out in 2015.
Okay.
So this isn't like some forever ago show. It's only 10 years old, and it went for 5 seasons, meaning it ended just 5 years ago.
What would you watch it on?
What's it? Sci-Fi. It was on
Okay.
site, and it is a Canadian made show. It was filmed in Canada, much like a lot of the was it WB, like The Flash and all those guys. A lot of that was filmed in Canada, but highly recommend it. It has a beginning and an end. Doesn't do the cliffhanger thing. It cleans everything up nicely. Fantastic show.
That's exciting. It sounds like a very action-packed show. Is this what's the target demographic? Who are we trying to hook with this show?
I think space western fans.
Okay.
Your Star Wars, not necessarily Star Trek. Not that there aren't people that are like myself that enjoy both, but it doesn't go high into the tech. There's a lot of tech. There's a lot of cool tech, but that's not the cornerstone of it. You get into some of the technology they have is relevant, very relevant to the story, but they don't dive into it in a way that makes it like hardcore science fiction to me. It's more fantasy, science fiction, fantasy, space western. I mean, they have, there's a lot of very distinct factions in the show.
Yeah.
There's like a religious organization that they interact with, that people that have given up everything for their belief. It's very cultish, but it's not like creepy cult. Well, they're creepy, but it isn't like cultish, like one guy leading it.
It's not that creepy for a space cult, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
As far as the cults go, space cults are less creepy just because they're in space. But but I mean, it's a lot of cool factions, and you relate to the factions. The factions aren't this vapid. Oh, let's put this in there for some color, or let's make them a one-dimensional aspect to the storyline. It isn't like that. There's different characters from a faction. You interact with that faction in different ways depending on what character you're interacting with. So it just gives a little bit more depth and realism to this group of people in their organization, rather it being, a lot of times when you have a church or a clan or something in there, they're represented very one-dimensional. Like every person who's a member of it is one entity.
Yeah.
And that's not the case in the show.
Everybody's a cloak wearing, chant saying, I gotcha.
They believe the exact same thing. They're 100% indoctrinated, blah blah blah. That's not the case. This show does a good job of showing that there's people with varying degrees of their belief or devotion to it, and that's all kinds of neat things. I mean, that's just one aspect. That's one small, that religious clan is they're relevant to the story, but they're not like a main character. So and they developed it that well that I can kind of pull out. I haven't watched the show in, well, probably if I finished 5 years ago. That's when I finished watching it. So I still pull these characters. I can still pull them up, visualize them. And there's a lot of shows I've watched since that I couldn't answer question 1 about because it just didn't stick with me. So strongly suggest Killjoys. I think it's a great show. What I should have done and I didn't do is see who's streaming it now. It looks like, unfortunately, you might be paying Amazon Prime to watch it. It doesn't look like it's free streaming. But which is a bummer, but it's a great show. If it comes around, keep an eye out for it. And if you don't mind spending a couple bucks on one of the streamers, I strongly suggest it.
There you go.
And then the next thing, it kind of takes me to the next one. The next one is Dark Matter. It actually aired in a very similar time. And you know what? And I miss calling the name something else. There's a new series called Dark Matter, and that's not the one that I'm talking about. Hold on one second. Yeah, they are both called Dark Matter. There's a new Dark Matter and there's an old Dark Matter. And the old Dark Matter that I'm talking about is 2015 to 2017. It's a science fiction. And 6 people wake up on a starship with no memory of why they're there. They don't know who they are. They actually call themselves 1, 2, 3 in the order that they woke up on the ship.
Okay.
And yeah, so they don't know what the deal is. And they all are they all have very distinct talents. One guy is extremely good with weapons. There's the girl this younger girl is very genius-like. The captain herself has displayed like abilities that are unnatural. It's just really cool. And throughout the story, you find out who these people are.
Were their minds? It sounds like their minds were kind of wiped or something along those lines.
And they're on a derelict ship.
Yeah.
The ship isn't even. They're not even familiar with anything. And there's locked parts of the ship that they can't even get into. So, and they're just figuring it all out. And they don't know when they encounter other people. They don't know how to represent themselves. And then people recognize them, and they're getting pieces of who they are by people recognizing them. And you come to find out that a lot of them have no business being together. Which is very interesting in itself. They've developed relationships only to find out that they don't like each other, or in their actual when they fully have their full minds, they wouldn't necessarily like each other, because you see flashbacks of them interacting before this all happened. It's really neat, and you learn about each character as they go through it. It's a
They
neat
kind of learn
show.
about themselves in a way too.
Yeah. This one only went for 3 seasons, but the yeah, it was just the original. But it does wrap up again. It does kind of have a cliffhanger at the end, but it's kind of a cliffhanger on purpose. It's an ending cliffhanger. I didn't feel unsatisfied or anything like that with it. It wasn't like I was like, that's it. They canceled it. Bummer. It left a lot out to interpretation, but they wrapped up the right storylines to me. I did not end with it in a way that upset me. But yeah, it ended in 2017, 3 seasons, 13 episode seasons. It was really good. A lot of actors, a lot of which you would recognize. The one gentleman that's in that you would probably recognize the most. Anthony Lemke's in it. He's been in a lot of different things, and then trying to remember his name here. Hold on one second. Roger Cross. Roger Cross is in a lot of different stuff. You would know him from, let's see. He's been in a lot of science fiction too. He was actually in some episodes of Star Trek as different kinds of things.
Yeah,
But
Rutger Hauer sounds really familiar.
yeah, he was in Continuum. I don't know if you guys watched Continuum. That's something I probably could have talked about today too. That's another fantastic show of a woman time traveling back to modern times to change things for the future.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was another fantastic show during that time. But yeah, he's been in all kinds of different things. Roger Cross, if you look him up and see his face, you're gonna be like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. I saw him in the backgrounds of this thing or wherever.
Yeah, he's in a million things. I mean, and he's IMDb has him listed as being in 169 different shows, so he's got a fairly robust catalog. But
Yeah.
anyway, great show. Starts off with a mystery. It's neat how these people they're all very mistrustful of each other, yet they've got to work together. They have to interact. It's a great show. You should. I think it's a good one for a nerd alert. People should watch it. Let's see if that one's streaming anywhere.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
So we have Killjoy, we have Dark Matter. What else do we got?
Well, first, before I move to the last one.
Oh yeah, of course.
The CW is streaming Dark Matter, so if you want to watch that one, it'll have commercials. CW doesn't have a commercial-free option, unfortunately, but you can at least watch it, and it's worth it.
I'm too cheap for the commercial-free options anyway, so.
Yeah, well, they don't even have one. You can't even. It really bums me out. So the last one is kind of a deep cut. So I wanted to save it for last, but because this show, I loved this show as a kid. Came out in 1985, so I was actually a kid back in the last century. But the name of the movie is Ladyhawke. 3 major stars in it: Rutger Hauer, Matthew Broderick, and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, wow.
So, long story short, the main character, I believe his name is Navarre, was the head knight, the guy of the kingdom, and he fell in love with Michelle Pfeiffer's character, but there was a very jealous bishop. Blah blah blah. He desired her. Blah blah blah, etc. So he disgraced Rutger Hauer's character and curses the two of them. So by day, she is a hawk. She transforms into a hawk.
Ooh.
And at night, she turns back into a human, and he transforms into a wolf. And only in that small moment in the dusk can they just see each other, make eye contact as one transforms away. So, and they stay together. They're eternally devoted to each other, but they're unable to be together. So it's really pretty tragic in this storyline.
Now, are they aware when they're the animal? Like,
no, they're hold on 1 second. Let me fix
getting
this
a little
weird
fuzzy there, buddy.
thing here. But
Pause.
Nerd alert!
But anyway, so they are, as an animal, the love is still there, but they have the animal's mentality. They're not a human mind in an animal. They're not intelligent.
Okay.
So,
And they don't have any
as
recollection, or
they
oh
as
wow,
as the hawk, she's just a hawk, but she's devoted to him. He can call her,
yeah,
he protects her. There's still the passion. There's still the love there, but the mentality's not there. They have no memory.
that's
So
cool.
then you introduce Matthew Broderick's character. Matthew Broderick's character is this lowly thief. He's just they call him Mouse, I believe. It's either Mouse or Rat that they call him. But he's a thief, and he's escaped the prisons once again, the dungeons again, getting away, and he runs into Navarre, and they start traveling together, and he witnesses what's happening with them. Navarre has decided that he can't take it anymore, and he's going to just go kill the bishop. So it's a story of their and even though he knows that it's going to kind of damn her to live without him and everything else, there's a lot, but the story's great. It's fantastic. It's good fantasy. It's well done. The story, the pacing's good. The videography's good, and there's a lot of like heart-wrenching things, like when they're like they have that moment, and when they see the thing, usually they stay away from each other when they're in the transformations because they don't want to have that moment, because that moment is gut-wrenching. So when they have it, it's interesting. But and you got Matthew Broderick's character just traveling here and there with sometimes a hawk, sometimes a wolf, and using his abilities. It's the Mouse, yeah. And her name in the character was Anjou, or Anjou, Anjou. I forget how it's pronounced, but it's just a good movie.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
want
gonna have to check
to
that
give
one
more
out. That sounds
spoilers.
good.
Yeah,
That does sound good. Ladyhawke.
Is just to entice people to watch things that I really enjoy that may have slipped under the radar or aged out of, showing clips on reels. So it's to get people to watch it. So where can people watch Ladyhawke? Let's see. Yeah, stay
Nerd
tuned.
alert!
Nerd alert.
Oh, it's free on Tubi. There you go. There's
Oh,
a
Hey,
hey,
Tubi for
go
free.
watch Ladyhawke on
we got a
Tubi.
free one.
It's strongly recommended. I think that anybody who likes high fantasy, um,
That does sound good.
with good acting, I think they'll enjoy it. Especially with, um, I shouldn't call it high fantasy, because even though there's obviously mystical natures, it's grounded. It feels like a natural part of the environment. It doesn't feel like we don't have firebolts and casting and everything else. It's very medieval knights fighting with your standard, your standard fashion. This was obviously a curse, but that's really the only
It's more a curse
magic.
story than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, only real magic. But it's really good. It's a great movie. So I picked those three for my nerd alerts, and we'll
Nice.
give us some feedback. Let us know what you think of these things. I'd love to know what someone goes back and watches Ladyhawke. Oh my God, 25, 35, 45 years later. Oh my God. Oh, that hurts my soul. But 40, it's 40 years. So 40 years ago. But someone watches it now out of the blue. What do they think? What do you tell me? I want to know. Like, I want to have a discussion about it. And I'll watch the things. I watch the comments. I'd love to have some to give some feedback to and respond to. So let us know what you think of them, and we'll and discuss. Be good stuff. Cool.
Sounds good,
Right.
nerds.
Nerd alert.
Nerd
Like and
alert!
subscribe. Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
Bye!